Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here. Everybody was like, where the hell's Little Joan? Where's Little Joan? I had important things to say. Little Joan sometimes gets in the way. And let me tell you something. Little Joan was very bad today. She barked so much, she gave me a headache. I went out to eat. I just said, that's it. I'm going out to eat. So I got to have a peaceful dinner. And I did. And then I came back and Little Joan was calmer. Um, but Sandy suggested that I do a Little Joan video. I almost did today in the yard, but um, I missed her like running out of the house. So maybe tomorrow I'll do a Little Joan video so you can see her. I don't know, chasing squirrels or one of the things she does. Right, Joan? Right now she's finally sort of chilled out. Yeah. But we have to talk about other things, bigger things. World leaders echoes Biden victory declaration despite no official winner. Despite what presumptive President-elect Joe Biden claims, the election is still undecided. This is WND, very right wing, of course. So, you know, right now, all Biden, according to the article, and his mainstream media allies can claim is that he appears to hold a large edge over President Donald Trump in this year's hotly contested election, leaving incumbent Trump with a very narrow path to victory. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson congratulated Biden, saying the United States country's most important ally, and he hoped the two nations could work together on matters like climate change and security. Other European leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, oof, that guy's got to be sweating, echoed their British counterpart. And they said nice things. Look, we're the biggest, most powerful country in the world. Not the biggest, but most powerful country in the world. And they're going to kiss Biden's butt just in case. Just in case. So, Middle Eastern, African nations, South American nations, they all say that because, and of course, Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau couldn't wait for this day. He was so excited he almost couldn't put on his blackface. Yeah, he is, of course, looking forward to working together and building on that with you both, whatever that means. Justin Trudeau. Yeah, unless, of course, Trump wins, and he'll be going through these tweets, I'm sure, going, "Hey, you guys were really happy I wasn't gonna be elected, and now I am." Just saying. Choose your words very carefully. But no, I mean, they're not the United States, so they gotta kiss our butt and call it ice cream. Especially the Ukraine. God, I can't imagine what it must be like to get blackmailed by VP Biden, then have Trump in, turn around, try to get some evidence to Trump, and now the guy who blackmailed you and you tried to screw him is now the president of the United States. The Ukraine is effed if Trump doesn't win this. They are effed. Biden will, if he stays in. I mean, who knows with Biden? Maybe he forgot already. Germany says Trump is pouring oil on the fire of a potential constitutional crisis. Well, thanks, Germany. It's very interesting to be lectured by you guys after your bouts of not so constitutional governments. But okay. This is from Zero Hedge. The grab your popcorn reactions of a number of foreign countries to the election vote count mess that America finds itself in have been varied and interesting. The leading European country that's perhaps the most directly vocal against Trump thus far has been Germany. On Friday, Foreign Minister Heiko Maas went after President Trump's repeat allegations of voter fraud and of the Democrats trying to, quote, steal the election, especially centered around the remaining handful of battleground states. Maas accused Trump of irresponsibly pouring oil on the fire and creating a downward spiraling situation, potentially leading to what top Merkel allies have suggested will lead to a constitutional crisis. Excuse me, not your country. So, toodaloo. Don't care what you say, oh German person of note. That's a little much. That's a little much. And let's be honest, they don't really like Trump. Look at this picture. You can just see Merkel. Oh God, I have to deal with this a-hole. Oh, 4 years can't come fast enough. Which is kind of surprising when you think about it, because Obama was caught spying on Merkel. I guess it was Edward Snowden had revealed that they had been listening to Merkel's phone calls on her personal phone, amongst other things. So it's kind of funny. I don't think Trump was doing that. And he didn't give her a weird back massage like Bush did. God, Merkel's been in forever. It's a little weird. But the biggest country to be happy about Biden is, of course, China. China's very happy. Chinese state propagandist gushes over tenacious man Joe Biden. Look at that picture. Man, he looks like the crypt keeper there. According to Ho Xijin, editors of Chinese state-run Global Times, former Vice President Joe Biden has become a figure of great fascination for Chinese internet users who admire him as a, quote, tenacious man. I suppose they do. Various articles introducing Biden's life have become popular on the internet in China. The tragedy of him losing close family members has aroused sympathy amongst Chinese people. His failed bids for the presidency in the past have also helped create an image of a tenacious man, Hugh wrote on Friday. The official position of the Chinese government and the official tenor of the conversation on its heavily censored government-approved social media sites has long been that China has little preference in the U.S. presidential race and has expected no major changes to U.S.-China relations if Biden won the election. Ha ha. If anything, Chinese social media accounts worked overtime during the last days of the U.S. election to convey the sense that they didn't support Biden and have no great expectations of him. Oh, of course. Oh, I'm sure the guy who went to China and said nothing but nice things about them while cutting a deal in the back room with his son to get a bunch of money from a Chinese firm expects nothing from China. I'm sure they're very upset that Trump, the guy who screwed them on a trade deal, is not going to be elected. Come on, man. I guess I get to do that imitation for a while if Biden wins. The Chinese netizens were said to be curious about President Donald Trump, appreciative of his pragmatic outsider approach. Come on. The Chinese yuan, which dropped precipitously on Tuesday night when it appeared Trump would win re-election, soared to a 20-month high as post-election counting delivered victory to Biden. Well, isn't that interesting? Why would that happen? Why would the Chinese currency suddenly, miraculously, reach a 28-month high when Biden wins instead of Trump? Huh. Curiouser and curiouser. And finally, Biden claims mandate while election versus Trump remains undecided. Oh yeah, this wasn't a squeaker at all, Biden. You got a big mandate. A mandate that you probably have already forgotten. Jesus, man. I mean, talk about a guy who does not have a mandate. Tim Pool's got a couple of really good videos today. You should check them out. One of the things he said was that he compared the Obama era with this era. So, and I'm totally on board with this because I experienced it as well. During the Bush years, everybody was trying to, anti-war, let's get out of the Middle East, come on, man, get peace, and all that stuff. And I went to protest, and Tim did too. Not that we were there at the same time, but you know. And what happened in 2008, Barack Obama more implied than anything else that he was going to get us out of the Middle East. And then the moment he was elected, it was like a ghost town. You couldn't get a anti-war protest going anymore. That's because everybody who had attended those protests, not everybody, like 80% of them, were just partisan. They weren't protesting against war, they were just protesting against Bush. And the war was a good topic for them, where they could virtue signal and feel good about themselves. They could say, yeah, man, peace and love. Okay, Bush is out. Now we got to get Obama to bring back the troops. Well, hold up here. Obama says the troops keep stability in the Middle East, and we can't just leave. That would be irresponsible. And, the drone strikes, well, they kill far less people. And right away, the rationales for staying suddenly became very sensible to these people. And they refused to protest again. They went back to sleep. And for 8 years, the anti-war side on the left just disintegrated. I mean, you couldn't rouse them. They didn't care. They didn't care about the drone bombing. They didn't care. All they cared about, Obama. And now they're trying to do that same thing with Biden. And that's very dangerous for people on the left side of politics. If that happens in a quicker manner, and this is why I say Trump supporters, do not antagonize these people as they are celebrating. Let them celebrate. Let them have a whole week of celebration. Then let them all go home, all nice and happy and relaxed. Because I tell you what's going to happen. The reports are going to start to come in. And they're going to be, nah, Biden won, it's fine. And the people on the left who could see the writing on the wall will start to go, they're not calling this election. We should go out and protest. Nah, Biden won. I'm done with all that. Listen, I got a job now. I got to feed my family. Democrats look like they're opening up things. I got a business to run. But good luck, though. I'm sure it'll be fine. And then, hopefully, Supreme Court, Congress, and then it's Dewey defeats Truman. That's what I'm saying. But for Biden to claim a mandate, I mean, Jesus, man, a mandate? Nah, I don't think you have a mandate. I think you got elected because people personally hate Trump. They are personally annoyed by him, and they were kind of, well, a lot of them were sick of his shtick and heard on the news that Orange Man was bad. So they got up and they voted. But they didn't vote enough, so the Democratic Party kind of got their machine going. The real question is, how much of the machine really was in play here? As I said, maybe this 50-50 split between the Republicans and Democrats isn't a 50-50 split. Maybe the Democratic Party has been too dependent upon their machine for too long. And that illusion, combined with the media's power, has given them a 50% when they really don't deserve that much. That's my working theory. If Trump could tear that, I mean, look, even if Trump doesn't get elected, he's tore that machine open. It's going to be exposed. The Democrats themselves will have to make reform. Now, they may, if they're in charge of the reform, it's not going to be great, but it'll be something. And that's still going to hurt them because they're not, at some point, they're not going to be able to do anything. At some level, they're going to have to scale this back because this was pretty blatant. But again, I think Trump has a pretty clear path to victory in the courts. So I think a lot of this is very premature. And for those of you in other countries, shut the F up.